Back in the garden at Common Ground. Finishing up picking some zucchini and squash. Noticing the pepper plants. Hopefully Doug can reduce the disease presence in here. We'll see. We've got some vigorous amaranth popping up. Watermelon coming through. There's one. Oh, here are a bunch. Yeah, as long as the groundhog we've spotted in here only munches a couple of these, we ought to have over 200, maybe over 250 watermelon harvested from these 3 beds. And the challenging thing will be staggering them harvest-wise to space them out for CSA members ordering over the next couple weeks so that we can have the right amount each week. So meeting demand with supply. Yeah, perishable foods. It's a little tricky sometimes to balance things out. And I guess that is one of the trade-offs at the supermarkets. I was at Harris Teeter and Weaver Street this morning. Look at the produce there, the organic produce. And Sunday morning, July 12th, I'm here in Carrboro, gonna check out Harris Teeter, some of the produce prices, organic, non-organic, and then pop over to Weaver Street Co-op to see what's going on there when it comes to prices, what people are getting, and talk through some of my ideas of value in this world, both value for the money we're spending and living our values. While it's fresh in my head, heading out of Harris Teeter, a lot of what I saw was from Mexico or the United States. In the US for organic food, very probably in California for the items like kale, especially this time of year. Yeah, definitely mix of prices. Like green onions were $1.50 or something for a very skimpy bunch. So that probably, when our units get up to $5 for the big bunches, that's probably very similar quantity wise. Other things like the beets, especially because our bunches of beets were huge this year, that was pretty aligned. Maybe our units were slightly bigger for $5. Either items seasonally like the squash and the cucumbers were offering a much better value than what was happening there. I think it was like $4 a pound for the squash. I'm gonna have to look at the video that I took. But yeah, it's wild. I'm gonna have to film the rest of this in the garden because all the pavement and the car sounds and the electrical lines are getting to my spontaneity and creator maker space. So. Yeah, reflecting on how, I mean, not only can people buy all of their food needs at a one-stop place, it's also the convenience of year-round having access to a wider spectrum of what you may want, which, again, like in my mind, there's a trade-off in value of eating seasonally if we are attuned to the cycles and rhythms of this specific place, which in my opinion is supportive for our well-being. Then when the chickweed comes in March, eating some chickweed raw on a salad or garnish on something else helps prime our beings, our digestive systems, for more of the raw veggies that are coming later in the spring. The cucumbers, the tomatoes, for sure. I mean, even the flowers, the marigolds, the squash flowers. Off the top of my head, wow, these flowers are just lush. We need more folks ordering flowers, and they're pretty gorgeous. I think that's been a joy for me this cycle, the CSA, just observing and benefiting from the beauty in the garden. So many more flowers in the floor here. We can walk down to the other big patch, or maybe see this one here. But yeah, because on the whole, like we were offering tomatoes this past week at 2 pounds or more per unit, roughly, which is $2.50 a pound. Meanwhile, at Weaver Street, it was $5 a pound, and I've heard at the farmers market it's $5 a pound for heirloom, locally grown tomatoes, and not necessarily both of those at the same time. But just thinking about the value proposition of the CSA, it's like, and we all have different interpretations of value, and then the wider culture has its own layer that it's positioning on things, and just to be in relationship with a specific place and be in solidarity and support of earth tenders, farmers, community growers that year on year are supporting the vitality of a landscape with deepening relationship. It really fills me with even more energy to devote to this. The zucchinis, the cucumbers, I'd say on average the price for the veggies and the CSA is in line on average. Like each different item is different with what gets sold at Weaver Street and perhaps even Harris Teeter. The quality of the produce, organic produce at Harris Teeter, looked more sad than that of Weaver Street. So I will give Weaver Street that. Happier looking produce on the shelves. I mean, these veggies don't even go on the shelf. I mean, they go on the like hand shelves on Thursdays when we pack the CSA bags. But I do braiding sweetgrass and reading the anthology All We Can Save back in 2021 radically shifted my life of beginning to reflect, well, if all of these life expressions around us are alive and witnessing me like I'm witnessing and sensing them, how would I want to show up for these beings, these life expressions? And deepening relationship, for sure. So yeah, this was a meandering video. Lucas's soliloquies, monologues. This corner of the garden is still pretty disorganized, but yeah, okra's coming along. There were, oh yeah, the sage was the biggest, like, oh man, the sage in that little plastic box was looking so sad, and it was the double the price of what we were offering last week. But yeah, sage back on after our other patch of herbs got neglected. We used the cutting off of this west plot in the garden as a chance to invite in some more perennial area and culinary herbs. So this patch needs to be weeded. So if you're a gifted garden hand, maybe that is a task for you. But the sage looking so healthy. And then over here is, what are we seeing here? Oregano. Yeah. So I believe oregano will be on the list this upcoming week when this video drops. And then some thyme here. And yeah, I don't know, I can't speak for oregano and thyme yet, but definitely the sage was like, wow, these CSA family, y'all are getting a good deal, hot deal on a hot summer Thursday. Ooh, the snapdragons. Wow. Oh, I love these flowers. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, there's just so much built-in disconnection with food and mainstream modern culture, and just the supermarkets wondering about the land where that food comes from and whether that's in a state of being exploited, degraded, or whether it's being tended in a way that increases vitality year on year. Some may call that regenerative. And then the various hands and humans that went into getting that food to the market, to people's dishes. And yeah, California, Mexico, other countries, migrant laborers. Like, I definitely want more of my food choices to come from farms like this. It's definitely a journey. Doesn't happen all at once, and grateful that we're all on this ride together. So thanks for tuning in, y'all.